I can trace any client or lead back to the exact post that I saw them on Instagram. And I'm going to share with you right now, because this is quite a complicated process, but I'm going to share with you just a 10-minute version so you can do it too as simply as possible. And before I jump to this, I'm going to show you like a fairly simple way of doing this, but this thing is very, very complicated. So if you just want to completely skip this video and you want us to install this for you, that's literally the offer we do. We create software for Instagram led businesses to basically build tracking, so you can track every single interaction on your Instagram, which then means you can, every day see your 10 hottest leads, but also every single piece of content you put out, you can see exactly how many dollars that it's brought you in, so you can then double down on what's bringing you in money, and ignore the stuff that's not, which, saves a bunch of time, saves a bunch of money, whatever, you get the idea. If that's interesting, there's a book called down below, but I know you're here just for the quick solution, so I'll just jump straight into that. So if we zoom out for a minute, right, like, being able to track through organic is kind of like gold dust these days. But to truly see how powerful it is, we need to actually look at the ads world and paid traffic. Like, I know you're here for organic, but chill, trust me, this makes sense. Paid ads work so well because it's such a calculated mathematical system. Like, you just put money in, you have an ad creative, you put money in, $1,000, $5,000, whatever it is. You put money into the creative, and then you have metrics, right? You have these conversion rates as you move them along the funnel. So you have money in, and then you have, the click-through rate, and then you have the opt-in rate, and then you have the close rate and all this stuff, or the book call rate, the close rate. So you can then see that $10,000, exactly where it flows through that funnel, and see at every single step where everything's going wrong. And this is super great because you can then look at that and say, okay, our click-through rate's bad, that means our hook's wrong. Or you say our book call rate's bad, so then we need to change the copy on the landing page a bit. And it's super, super structured and super mathematical. It's like a formula. But now going into the organic world, how can you do that? You make the ad creative and you don't necessarily, promote it with money. There's no ad spend, but there's obviously the cost of creating the creative. Maybe you hire a videographer, you have an editor. Also, it takes your time. If you're recording it yourself and it's a video of you, if you're running an Instagram, based business, then it's probably of you, right? You're the founder, you're almost like a personal brand first business. And so your time is valuable, you should put a dollar amount to your time, maybe an hour's worth, $1,000, $2,000. It'll take a few hours to ideate, to script, to record, and then you're paying the editor and everything. So there is a cost to creating organic content. But then from there, you create it and you push it out into the world, but you have absolutely no idea if that piece of content is actually bringing you clients. There's no click-through rate, there's no conversion rate. There are metrics, which are kind of like vanity metrics. You can see how many views it got. You can see, in some cases, you can see the retention graph and say, oh, the hook was bad here. But it doesn't matter if the hook was bad if the whole video doesn't contribute to your revenue at all. And it's very difficult to actually determine if the video is actually working for you. Because, in ads, every single dollar has a job. In organic, each dollar, it's hard to see the actual cost of the content. And then it's also hard to see the direct link between that content and your revenue. And, like I mentioned before, you spend money on editors, there's your time, there's, some people even travel, right? Some people like to bulk record Instagram reels and they'll literally fly to a different country and record 2 weeks worth of reels. So that then, they have the lovely backdrop in Greece or Spain or whatever it is. So then based on this, what's the ideal? We can't track anything. Well, the ideal is effectively having the same information as paid ads, right? So you want to be able to open up your platform and see, okay, this reel brought me 3 clients this month, which closed at $20,000 or something. Whereas this carousel and this story, okay, they got a whole bunch of views. They got 100,000 views, but not a single person booked a call because of that content. And so then you can use all this information to say, okay, well, that Instagram story and that carousel and this post didn't bring me any money. So let's ignore that format, or they all use the same hook and the hook doesn't seem to be bringing in clients. So that hook's attracting the wrong type of people. It's not attracting buyers. It's attracting these freebie seekers or these triers or whatever. So you're okay, let's remove these hooks, let's remove these topics, and let's double down on the ones that are working. For example, say you make a lifestyle video and it's showing off your lifestyle because of your offer. Say you're a gym coach, maybe it's a video showing off you on holiday with shredded abs, or say you're a business coach, it's you enjoying yourself in a beautiful country, right? Maybe that specific content worked really, really well. So then okay, I need to post more of that content and then I'll get more clients. And so then you have this whole thing where you can just keep optimizing, because you can actually then associate your posts, your content, your carousels, your stories. You can associate that directly to revenue and say, okay, this has contributed to this much revenue. Like this one post has contributed to $100,000 in sales. So I should probably make more of these posts. Like imagine only one of your posts contributes to your revenue. You're making $100,000 and you make 10 posts, right? You could literally cut out all of the 9 other posts and double down on that single post that's actually bringing all the money. If only 1 out of 10 is actually bringing in the money, and then you double down on that and make 10 pieces of content similar to that one, you could literally 10x your revenue just from content. And this is a exponential effect as well, because then you have 10 new pieces of content. You can compare all of them and take the best from that and double down into that until you've literally you've cracked getting leads through content, which is insane. And like the whole idea I'm trying to get here is like vanity signals do not matter. The only signals we actually care about is money signals, because you're running a business. You're not trying to become an entertainer and you're not trying to become famous. You're trying to get rich. Let's be real. Like the reason you're in this game is to make money and have freedom. Like that's 99% of the people I talk to, that is all that they want. Money, which is basically just tied to freedom. They want to live where they want, eat what they want, and just have as much time free as possible. So you can just do what you want, basically. Anyway, so after that slight rant, I'll now take you through like a simple, just like 3-step process on how you can replicate this and be able to track all this stuff. So step 1 is collecting the trail. Like I like to call each of these interactions a crumb, like a breadcrumb. So the first step is collecting the breadcrumbs, right? Following the trail. For each client that you've closed, you go through your Instagram account and list out all of the interactions you can find before they closed with you. So maybe they liked a certain post and then they commented here, they sent you this DM. Like you go on each interaction, like a full-on timeline for every single person you've closed. So literally everything. So likes, comments, story replies, story likes, story views, if you're able to collect that as well, DMs, every single interaction, but specifically before they've got on the sales call. Because the assumption is everything that they've consumed before that sales call has contributed to building them up in order to get on that call and pay in full. So then step 2, now you've got all of your clients. This could be a lot. You might need a VA to do this. I mean, you could do it yourself. It's quite a lot of data to go through. And like I mentioned towards the start, like we can do this for you, book a call below. If not, keep listening. So step 2 is to then credit the posts. So now you have all of your clients and you have a timeline of everything they've consumed before they've booked a call and been closed. So now you can analyze each different timeline, right? And compare them to each other and look for the similarities in content. And what you're very likely to find is that throughout all of the timelines, there'll be pieces of content that are very consistent across different timelines. So there's one post that, say you've closed 10 clients this week, there could be a singular post that all of those 10 clients has interacted with. And so from there, when I say credit the post, that singular post is extremely valuable because that means that post has contributed to all 10 of those sales. And if that's, say, offers like 10K, that single post has contributed to $100,000 in sales. So instead of looking at the views, maybe that post only has like 2,000 views when you usually get 10,000 or 50,000, whatever your view count is. And maybe it didn't get many likes either, but because it's been interacted with by these specific clients who've paid in full, who've actually closed on the sales call, you now know that that piece of content is really valuable and will help more people to also close. Like it's just simple like probabilities, right? 10 people watch this piece of content and end up buying your offer. Then if another 10 people go through, it's very likely that they're probably at some point also going to buy your offer. So now after you've done that, right, you've collected the trails, you've then credited the posts and analyzed the timelines to see what the consistent thing is. Like it's not always a post. It could be a story. It could be a specific like DM maybe there's a keyword. Once you have all of this is where you double down. So you've identified, okay, this story works really well, and this has got like this, you can look into it a bit deeper, like, okay, this story makes me lots of money, and then you could go to the next level and be like, well, this is the structure of this Instagram story, so maybe I'll copy that structure, or here's this post and it's got this hook, I'll copy the hook, or here's this topic or format, I'll copy that again, and so you just double down on what's working. And so this then means, if 20% of what you're actually posting makes up 80% of your sales, you can double down that 20% and then go 100% into that 20%, which can 5 to 10x how much revenue you actually make just purely based on organic, just because you can actually see the real data. And so when you consistently do this, like ideally you would do this every single day, right? Get a VA to do it, get maybe you just get your appointment set to do it, just do it yourself, whatever it is, or book a call, pay us to do it, but do this every single day or as much as you can, and just keep collecting this data and keep identifying these posts that are actually making you the money. And then when you actually have all this data, there's a few different things you can do. So you can, like I said, you can see exactly which posts and which creatives are actually bringing in the money and how much money they bring you. But also you can then take it a step further and say, okay, well, these posts are making money and here's these people who have interacted with these posts already, but they haven't closed yet. And those leads then become like your hottest leads because they're on the path of someone who's going to pay in full, but they haven't actually booked that call yet. So you can jump in and kind of get those clients. So that's like another layer that I might explain in another video if you want it. So just, comment if you want that. But yeah, just to recap, collect the trail, collect all the interactions, credit the posts, so build the timelines and identify which pieces of content overlap on different people's timelines, right? If there's one timeline that's never and there's a post that's like here, that's the important post. And then double down on what's worked. And like I said, you can go do that yourself. Send this video to your VA, your appointment setter, whoever. You can do it yourself. Or, like I said, book a call down below. We actually do it through software, so it's fully automated. There's no extra VA, there's no extra staff or whatever. We just build it for you. We collect all the data every single day. We give you a dashboard. We show you exactly how much all your posts make. We show you your hottest leads every single day. Like I say, you can just do it yourself, or if you want us to do it, then yeah, book a call down below. We'll just walk you through how it works. It's not always a great, perfect fit with everyone. So we'll just see if it works for you. And if it works, then, we could get you onboarded. Otherwise, we can just give you a bit of extra secret sauce that I don't want to give away in the content. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.